This is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. The Supreme Court has come down pretty heavily on this concept of quick fix justice used by some states in the form of bulldozer justice. The court has opined that even if there is one instance of illegal demolition, then it is against the ethos of the Constitution. It has put a stay on all demolitions till the 1st of October, saying it is going to come up with comprehensive guidelines for the same. Of course, the court has also exempted any incursions, any encroachment into public land where the state has the right to take that land back in case of an encroachment. But that is not the issue at hand here. That is not what was challenged by the petitioners in this case. What was under challenge was using bulldozers as some kind of a retributive justice instrument. Will this, today's order by the Supreme Court and what it has said in pretty uncertain terms, will that stop bulldozers being used in this form of instant retributive justice? And also a question for the courts of law to clarify how they are going to deal with the backlog of cases, the inordinate delays in trials, which is what is leading to these unconstitutional quick fixes like bulldozers in the first place. But first, the story so far.
बुलडोजर न्याय नहीं हो सकता है। बुलडोजर अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल था। बुलडोजर लोगों को डराने के लिए था। बुलडोजर जानबूझ करके विपक्ष की आवाज़ को दबाने के लिए था।
अखिलेश यादव जी ने अपने ही विधायक रामपाल यादव के घर पर बुलडोजर नाराज होकर के चलवाया था, या उद्धव ठाकरे ने नाराज होकर के कंगना रनौत के घर पर बुलडोजर चलाया था। ऐसी बुलडोजर की कार्रवाई तो रुकनी ही चाहिए।
So let's get you an overview of what the court said, because this has ramifications for not just this form of bulldozer justice, but also it is putting guardrails on state action. This is what the court has said. Even if there is one instance of illegal demolition, it is against the ethos of the Constitution. We will not come between any unauthorized construction, but the executive cannot be a judge. After the previous order, many ministers have come out and said that bulldozer action will continue. We propose setting guidelines on a pan-India basis to address all concerns expressed by the petitioners. Till the next date, which is in the first week of October, there will be a stay across the country on all demolition without the leave of court. The heavens won't fall if the demolitions are halted for a week. Encroachments on public roads, railroad tracks and water bodies are not covered by today's ruling. So will this set a framework and put some kind of guardrails on excessive state action, whether it is in the form of retributive instant justice like bulldozers, or leaving people to incarcerate for years on end without trial to begin, as we have seen in the instance of Mr. Kejriwal and others who were released precisely for one of the reasons that you cannot incarcerate someone just because a trial is inordinately delayed. Let me now go across to our guests who are joining us. Dr. Kaushal Kant Mishra is spokesperson of the UP BJP, Pradeep Bhati, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Kailash Adhikari, political analyst, Sumit Chandar, advocate, is also joining us. Mr. Kaushal Mishra, let me start with you. I'm going to read 2-3 portions from today's judgment by the Supreme Court. Even if there is one instance of illegal demolition, it is against the ethos of the Constitution. We will not come between an unauthorized construction.
to hear.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
now I can.
We won't come between unauthorized construction, but the executive cannot be a judge. After the previous order, many ministers have said that bulldozer action will continue. We propose setting guidelines on a pan-India basis to address these concerns. Basically, the court is saying that any state, not just Uttar Pradesh, but any state, cannot use bulldozers as an instant quick fix justice instrument.
Yes, it's clear. No government can be act like a judge. But the parliament and executive has laid down their own principle. It is certified by the constitution, passed by parliament as well as different Vidhan Sabhas. There is a procedure of law. Even the Supreme Court in today's judgment said that they are not staying anything where there is illegal construction you have already quoted that public roads, footpath, railway lines, other public spaces such as water bodies. So it is the stay of those property who are officially under basically the passed by the government areas like DDA in Delhi or LDA in Lucknow. It's like that. But if there is some construction made beyond that, means extra coverage of a space, that should not be demolished. Obviously, that should not be demolished. And no government is becoming the judge. They are just following the rules of law, whatever they laid down by the constitution. And for your information, all over the country in 2020 to 23, 1,53,820 homes was bulldozed all over the country. So it's not only Uttar Pradesh, it's all over the country. I am giving you the data.
No, but Dr. Kaushal Mishra, no,
they
one
are
second. The
officially
problem is not that. No, the problem is not that. The problem is bulldozer was used in many times, and the Supreme Court has also pointed out to this in July 2023 when the Supreme Court raised concerns about the government's actions regarding bulldozing houses and the link to politically motivated cases. In many instances, what was happening was something politically inconvenient was happening, and the state was using bulldozer to settle the political case. And this illegal construction was just being used as an excuse or a fig leaf. Court has also underlined that today in today's order, that you cannot use bulldozer for settling political scores.
Obviously, yes. Nobody can use the bulldozer for the setting the political scores. But tell me, there is all over the country, if 1,53,000 bulldozer has been done, obviously there must be some mafias, some gundas, and some politicians also. If the person is politically active and he is getting some coverage from some political party, it will come in the media. And for your kind information, I am telling you the BJP official members like Srikant Tyagi in Greater Noida, Devendra Pandey in the Prayagraj, Nand Gopal Nandri who was the ex-minister, Rajiv Rana in the Bareilly, they are BJP leaders and their home was bulldozed. Apart from other things, we set the principle, we are party with the difference. Mr. Nitin Gadkari, who is our minister, he bulldozed his own in-laws house because it was illegal. It was coming in between the road. So what is harm in that?
Okay.
But I am
Pradeep
saying
Bhati of
we are
Samajwadi Party respond
if
to
the
that.
whole bulldozer.
What Mr. Mishra of the BJP and what BJP spokespersons are saying is that the demolition has to do with illegal construction. Today, the court has also said any encroachments on public roads, railroad tracks and water bodies will not be covered under today's ruling. So, what is illegal is illegal. What is encroached is encroached. And if the municipal corporation, the local authorities are passing orders that it has to be demolished, then that is the law. That is how the law must be treated.
Thank you, Jacob, and good evening to all. Firstly, I want to say that today's Honorable Supreme Court has perceived the same what our Honorable Leader Akhilesh Yadavji and Samajwadi Party was saying from a long time. Today, I found that Kaushalji was a little bit confused. He was, one hand, he was talking about criminals and mafias, and at the same time, when they go to the Supreme Court, they only talk about demolition related to the illegal construction. So please make up your mind and stop this chest thumping and stating that this is done on the mafias and all the criminals. So that is not the case. That what affidavit and the opinion you have stated in front of the Honorable Supreme Court, that is done only for the illegal construction. Secondly, the illegal demolition, what Honorable Supreme Court has said, illegal demolition is against the ethos of the Constitution. So, Kaushal, you have to understand that illegal, whatever you are doing was against the ethos of Constitution. This is not the first time Honorable Supreme Court has said whatever government is doing is against the Constitution. Is the third time. Third time in the row, the Honorable Supreme Court has stated that. That means government is doing all illegal, unconstitutional things. And secondly, my dear friend, it is not today's judgment was is wholly upon the demolition also. They have stayed demolition also. You cannot do demolition till 1st of October till the next hearing in the Supreme Court.
Okay,
So
Dr. Mishra, please respond.
The
fact that the court has said all
Jacob,
demolitions
just one or two more points.
across
Jacob,
India will stop. Heavens won't fall if demolitions are halted for a week till fresh guidelines are issued by the Supreme Court. That in itself is an indictment, Dr. Mishra.
Jaka, I think you go through the last line of the order in which the top court expressed its feeling that demolition can't be carried out, only it can be carried out as per procedure in accordance with the law. It was said by Justice Gawai. I don't know what Samajwadi Party spokesperson had till now, because I don't find what I said is
Jacob,
something
you
confusing. I am
interrupt
talking very clearly.
I think you have to.
Please, Jaka, please.
No,
please.
one at a time, one
Jaka,
at a time.
please.
Please, let Dr. Mishra finish, yeah.
Okay.
One at a time, yeah.
So I have quoted incidences on which the BJP leader home was demolished by our government. I quoted what was the Supreme Court has said. I am very clear that Supreme Court has not stopped Bulldozer for any illegal construction. Supreme Court stayed only for those who are the basically in the legal colonies
What the court
and
has said,
encroaching certain areas.
what the court has said is till the next date there should be a stay on all demolition without the leave of court, which means that unless the court gives
Yes.
express consent,
Yes,
you cannot
please,
have
read
you
the
cannot
court.
have
But
demolition till
read
1st of
the-
October. Okay, let me
Please, I will
yeah,
request,
one second,
Jaka,
one second.
I don't
Let
want
me
to, I don't want to debate.
Just
I don't want to debate, but come to the last para of the judgment. Please come to the last para where it says that demolition can be carried out. Demolition can be carried out only as per
On the-
procedure in accordance with the law.
Okay.
And till the time, just 10 seconds, till the time Uttar
They
Pradesh
have
has
to
got
take permission from
done
the
the
court.
maximum demolition, and none has
They
been
have to take permission
none has
from the
been
court
stopped
till
by
first.
any court of law.
Okay, let me
None
go
has
let me
been
go
stopped by
across
any
to
court of law.
Okay,
the
okay.
other two
Everything
guests.
was
Let me
done
go
as
to
per
the other two guests, please, with your permission. Kailash Adhikari and then Sumit Chandra is also joining us. Kailash Adhikari, I think the larger messaging of today's judgment is that the state cannot have unfettered means to try and deliver some form of instant justice. A, that is unconstitutional, as today's order says. And B, it's almost like we believe in, it's like what comes in the movies, right? This hero who comes out there, larger than life figure, beats up the bad guys. That's not how societies or places where there is rule of law function. There has to be a procedure, there has to be a set down set of laws. We have that, and within the framework of the law, whatever justice has to be meted within the framework of that law. The problem with bulldozer justice was A, it was a quick fix. B, as the court today has opined, it was unconstitutional. Just because you have a political problem or a said crime A allegedly against one person, you cannot destroy his or her property for said crime B, because that is basically illegal. It's founded on illegalities. If you're going to use retributive means, quick fixes like bulldozers, to send out a message to other potential offenders or to send out a message to this particular offender in this case, you cannot use offense A allegedly to settle offense B. Kailash.
Zaka, you're absolutely right. Firstly, we as a nation, India as a nation, here we follow the rule of law, and what we welcome the decision and the judgment by the Honorable Supreme Court of India, which is a temple of judiciary in our nation. And we all know the background of this. A batch of petitions were filed in somewhere around 2022, early 2022, challenging certain illegal demolition using bulldozers. But having said that, Zaka, I'd like to, concur my views and agree with one point that Mr. Kaushal Mishra has said, that the Supreme Court has very clearly stated that till the next date of hearing, no demolition to take place without the leave of the court. But if there is any unauthorized encroachment or any public spaces, railway lines, footpaths, that is not covered under this judgment. So the Supreme Court has been very categorically clear on what is a bulldozer action and what is not a bulldozer action, firstly. Secondly, when Solicitor General, presented in the Honorable Supreme Court that, he can't have a pan-India direction given to all about that no one can use a demolition, because this is not about just one state. When the Supreme Court is saying we are not talking about one matter, because it is a batch of petitions. And where the Honorable Court has also mentioned that it is invoking a special power under Article 142 of the Constitution of India, which is given to the Supreme Court in that sense. Well, I do agree with the fact, Zaka, which you rightly mentioned, that if a particular person has committed an offense A, that does not mean that under offense if his house need not necessarily be bulldozed, his house is getting bulldozed for offense, whereas that offense does not involve that. Or let's say that particular person's, for example, brother has committed an offense and his house should be demolished for that. Our law does not say that. If an offense is committed by a father, that does not come on to his son, and that is what the law says that. So yes, the Honorable Supreme Court has meted out justice, but the opposition should not take it as a victory or a moral victory, because here we are not specifying any particular case where the opposition has any reasons to, bajao the bigul about it.
Okay, so let me bring Sumit Chanda. There have been other instances in the past where Supreme Court and other high courts have sort of pulled up the warning sign on things like bulldozer justice, instant quick fixes. In June 2022, the Supreme Court had warned in a matter involving the UP government that demolitions have to be in accordance with the law. They cannot be seen as retaliatory. In July 2023, I had mentioned this earlier, that the Supreme Court had raised concerns over the government's actions regarding bulldozer houses and their alleged link to politically motivated cases. In August 2023, the Punjab and Haryana High Court had questioned demolitions that happened in New, saying that buildings belonging to a particular community are being brought down under the guise of law and order. The problem is, in all of these instances, what the court is saying is that it cannot be seen as A, retaliatory, and B, it cannot be used as an instrument of retribution for a crime which has nothing to do with whether that building was legally built or illegally built.
To Zaka, let us see all this. I totally agree with you, but we need to see all this in the light of the Constitution. Now, what does Constitution say on this, so far as demolitions of properties are concerned or right over properties are concerned? In fact, there's an Article 300A. So, Constitution guarantees the right to property to every citizen of India under Article 300A. It states that no person in our country shall be deprived of their property except, of course, by the authority of law. Now, this also means that a person's property cannot be demolished arbitrarily without following the legal due process. The question here, kept again by Supreme Court time and again, has been whether the due process of law has been followed or not. Now, even if you look at it, whether notice, which is a mandate in law, that notice must be served first to show cause to that whether this building should be removed or pulled down or not. Whether those things have been done in this case or not, the building can only be demolished if the owner fails to show sufficient cause in response to that notice. So if you've not followed the due process of law, which time and again, and even in this present judgment, Supreme Court says that you need to follow the due process. You cannot just take away a person's right to property, which is his fundamental right enshrined under Article 300A of the Constitution.
Okay. Let me go back to Pradeep Bhati and to Dr. Mishra. Pradeep Bhati, so the point that some of the BJP spokespersons have been making is that I believe when Mr. Akhilesh Yadav was Chief Minister, he had run a bulldozer on one of his own party men. In Maharashtra, the house of Kangana Ranaut, at least portions of that house were demolished because, again, it was illegally constructed. So, when the opposition uses bulldozer, it's fine. But when the BJP uses bulldozer, it's a problem.
No, we never had that mindset, and we have never appreciated these kind of incidents or acts. Secondly, what Kaushal was saying, that it was only done, that it has done also on the BJP members. But let me tell him that BHU rape case, 3 IT cell, BJP IT cell members bulldozer was sent to those people. Many rapes, and even their state vice president was involved in a prostitution case. Has bulldozer reached there? Has these paper mafias houses bulldozer reached? All the sand mafias and those funding BJP, these kind of all mafias funding BJP, has bulldozer reached there? Top 10 mafias of one of UP are from one community. Over 100 cases. 99, 80. There is a competition going on in these top 10.
But Bhati Saab, this is the same thing as saying,
that century.
One second. Bhati Saab, why are you bringing caste into this? Why are you bringing caste into this?
This is not the right way.
Bhati Saab, why are you bringing caste into this? This is the same thing as saying...
Because you are doing selective.
Last week there was an encounter of a gangster. Somehow you have brought caste into that. Now here again you are saying caste. the mafias are from one particular caste. What has caste got to do with
Can
it?
I reply now?
Yeah.
Now, can I reply now?
Yes.
Now this is how you can expose the selective mindset of Honorable CM of Uttar Pradesh. You must be aware that he has taken 2 names in the Vidhan Sabha, and both of them were not present at that spot at that time. And what about the rest 20? So don't try to save a casteist mindset here and tell me that okay, you are bringing caste to this thing.
No,
Secondly,
you brought
this
it. No, nobody
glorifying
else on the
and
panel
then
brought it.
sending
How
that
does it
you
matter
take
what caste
for
this
that
person belongs to? If it is illegal, it is illegal.
If you want to stop me after every sentence and you want to break my flow, doesn't make any sense, Jacob.
No, Bhatti Saab,
Let me
your
complete
flow also has
whatever
to make
Kaushal
sense.
has said.
Your flow also has to be based on facts. Your flow can't just be you say whatever you wish to and then expect everybody else to, allow you to get away with it.
No. What I am saying, I am giving you the examples. I am giving you the example. Has Honorable CM not said taken one religion and one caste name in the Vidhan Sabha?
Doctor,
you should have stopped him and you should
Mishra.
have criticized him,
Dr.
and you
Mishra,
are stopping me here.
Again,
And let
the
me
point
wait.
again
Let
the
me come
point
to the
is
main basic
that
points. No, you have wasted my time in debating with
selectively
you.
the UP government is using Bulldozer
hang on.
to
Hang
try
on. You have
and
wasted my time in debating with
carry
you.
out
Let me come to the
retributive
basic-
justice. Now, one second, Bhatti Saab, you've spoken now. Let Dr. Mishra
just-
respond. Yeah.
I am just clarifying the fact to all the viewers what SP spokesperson wanted to bring the caste factor. In 2023, 20% of the bulldozed house belongs to SC, ST, OBCs and minority. Rest all are non-SC, ST minority. In 2022, there is 27%. In 2023, 36% belong to SC, ST, OBC and minority. Rest all are non-SC, ST minority. So you are exposed. This is 1. 2, Jamaat-e Ulema-e-Hind approached to the Supreme Court and he filed the case. Today's only discussion, if you go for the Supreme Court discussion, he, according to Jamaat-e Ulema-e-Hind, 70 shops in Madhya Pradesh was bulldozed and all belongs to minority community, which was clarified in the Supreme Court today only 20 shops belongs to the minority community, rest all are majority. So every time whenever there is some act against the criminals, people were trying to be, especially Samajwadi Party and Indi Gadbandhan, trying to bring caste factor. I am just asking, when there is a matter of terrorists, then they say there is no religion of terrorist.
Okay.
But when there is problem of crime, they say there is criminal has of caste. This is the duality of the Indi
Very quickly, Bhatti Saab,
Gadbandhan as
respond,
well as
and then
Samajwadi
I'm
Party.
going to the next story, which is
The
which is
criminals
based in Delhi. Haan.
and religion. Tell your Chief Minister, please. Jacob, ask him to
Can you
give this
say
preaching to
something
the
on the
Honorable
data?
CM, rather
Can
than
you
telling
say
us.
something on the data instead of
No,
coming and saying the
120.
political
You are
comment?
giving the wrong
Please
data.
come
I am
with the
telling
fact.
you 120
Come.
bulldozers,
Oh.
or 120 houses or bulldozed. Only of minority community. You are not even near to the data.
If
You are a learned
there are
person, I
there are
believe that you give the right data.
1,53,000
120
bulldozed
only.
houses, obviously
I'll give you
certain
right-
belong to the
right away. I'll
minority,
give you
certain belong to
right
the
away.
majority. So what is happening in that?
120
Every
houses
criminal,
only to the
any
minority
criminal
community.
and every
Forget about
criminal
the
will
PDA.
get the punishment.
Forget about the
and
PDA.
bulldozer
And
is not a
tell-
punishment.
give this preaching
Bulldozer
to
is not
Honorable
a
CM
punishment.
that not to
if
bring caste
anybody
and
has
religion.
done some
Every
illegal
time he speaks,
construction,
he bring
obviously
caste and
bulldozer
religion.
will come. It is not for the
Tell this
justice,
thing, give
it
this
is
preaching
for the
to Honorable
encroachment.
CM.
You have
And
to
Jacob,
understand.
I want to make
bulldozer
this
Okay,
point.
is no justice,
I'll
but
leave it
it
at
is
that.
for the
Like I said,
unauthorized encroachment.
we will see how the court, what sort of guidelines and pan-India guidelines today. The court has clarified that. It will come up with that in the next hearing on the 1st of October. We will see what sort of guidelines the court puts in place. But for now, I think the court has sent out a powerful message that whatever crime, whoever is alleged of doing that crime, it has to be treated as per the law, and it has to be adjudicated upon as per the provisions of the law that are involved in that particular matter, and that instant justice or quick fixes or retributive instruments like bulldozer justice cannot be used as a means of scoring or settling scores for a matter that has nothing to do with encroachment in the first place.